so we're going to do an ethics lightning round, some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. True or false? A landman finds an old lease with an ambiguous language. It's okay to interpret it in their client's favor without further clarification.
True. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I would say is, if it's ambiguous, you're going to want to run that past your legal team, right? Just because you're safeguarding yourself versus what may come next, right? If it's ambiguous enough, plus, depending on what state it is in, you never know how ambiguous it really is.
For sure.
It might not be.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. If a company requests a title opinion on land they don't actually own yet, it's fine to proceed with the opinion.
True. That's good due diligence. I mean, even if it's whether you do it after you engage in lease through the due diligence process or beforehand, it's up to you. You're going to spend the money either way, so it's just the time period of when you do it is okay.
Okay. A landman overhears a competing deal in a coffee shop. Ethically, they can use that information to benefit their client.
Well, ethically, yes. I mean, technically, it's if you're not eavesdropping or doing something fraudulently, it's the same with us. If we're talking about something and somebody overhears it and it's a competitor, they can technically use it. Now, that person that was having that conversation may have some ethical violations they may be needing to deal with after that.
Okay, all right. If a lease is signed but the bonus payment hasn't been delivered, the landman can still move forward with the title confirmation.
Well, this is kind of a tricky one, right? Because if it's going to depend on how the lease is structured and language, right? So if the lease language says the payment needs to be paid and it's contingent upon that payment, right, then technically you may not have a true lease in place. But otherwise, yeah, you can probably still move forward with title confirmation if all the documents have been signed and there's an intent to pay it, right?
Okay, and the last one on this. It's okay for a landman to rely solely on verbal agreements in negotiations if they trust the other party.
I mean, you can rely on them.
Says that's true.
It's true, but it's not recommended.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because verbal agreements tend to lead to when stuff hits the fan. Right? Verbal agreements that are never the same as what they really, really were.
For sure.
It's whatever's beneficial to you or beneficial to me, and that's generally how it works out. So that's why everything, unfortunately, has to be put into writing.
You sure sound like you know a lot about ethics.
Yes.
Is this an industry where there's a lot of ethical questions that come about? Because, I mean, like, based on what we've read and kind of what we've gone through, I mean, like, it seems like it's a very risk-heavy, and there's a lot of risk aversion that takes place. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think any profession, right? We all have ethics, right? Whether you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, engineer, we all are bound by strict ethical rules. Landman they're not per se regulated by any state or federal entity, right? They are more so regulated by the AAPL, right, which gives you a certification. And there's some states, 3, I think North Carolina, Maryland, and Ohio, that have registration requirements that in those they require you to be a member of organizations like AAPL who have these certain ethical requirements that hold your feet to the fire.
Interesting. What's one piece of advice for landmen navigating ethical challenges in today's oil and gas litigation landscape?
Get involved. Join the AAPL if you're not already there. Read their rules. Connect with them. Go to their seminars. I just put one on here yesterday.
Oh, cool.
On ethics, and you can learn a lot. You can hear actual real stories and hypotheticals and cases and evaluate. And talk with your colleagues. Right? What are they seeing? What have they heard? How did they handle it? And check your own personal ethics, right? I always say that there's 3 types of ethics that you're bound by, right? You have your professional, you have your personal, and then you kind of have the ones illegal, right? And a lot of landmen are lawyers as well. So there's that gray scale that even though they're a landman, they're operating under a landman, they're still lawyers, right? Their actions as being a landman could affect their legal license and vice versa.
Okay. Where can people find out information about Oliva Gibbs?
OGlawyers.com.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
Yep.